The Kirk Ferentz era. Ferentz started at the University of Iowa when he joined legendary coach Hayden Fry's staff in 1981 as offensive line coach, and the Hawkeyes won their first conference title and Rose Bowl berth in over 20 years. A string of 19 straight non-winning seasons came to an end in 1981. Ferentz continued as Iowa's line coach through the 1989 season. Offensive lines under the direction of Ferentz anchored four of Iowa's highest-scoring offenses in history. Player success under Ferentz. Under Ferentz and his staff, Hawkeye players have gathered all Big Ten and national recognition at a record pace. 7 Hawkeye players have earned National Player of the Year honors. Those include current defensive back Desmond King, Thorpe Award, offensive lineman Brandon Scherf, and offensive lineman Robert Gallery, the Outland Trophy, place kicker Nate Kading, the Luke Groza Award, quarterback Brad Banks, the Davey O'Brien Award, and AP Player of the Year in 2002, where he was also the Heisman Trophy runner-up, tight end Dallas Clark, the John Mackey Award, and running back Sean Green, the Doak Walker Award. Hawkeye football is represented very well in the NFL today. There are 23 Ferentz-coached Iowa players in the NFL today. Iowa football players are also gathering recognition at the next level. One of the most current successful players in the NFL is Marshall Yanda. Yanda played for the Hawkeyes in 2005 and 2006 after playing for North Iowa Area Community College. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler from 2011 to 2015, and he was an Associated Press first-team All-Pro in the 2014 and 2015 seasons. The most successful seasons under Kirk Ferentz. The Hawkeyes won 11 games in the 2002 season, led by Heisman candidate Brad Banks. Banks threw for 2,500 yards and 26 touchdowns and ran for 425 yards and 5 touchdowns. The running attack was led by Fred Russell, who ran for 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. Iowa's 2002 team was probably the most decorated in school history. Ferentz was named 2002 Associated Press and the Walter Camp Football Foundation's Coach of the Year in college football. He was also named Big Ten Coach of the Year in a season that saw his team climb as high as 3rd in the national ranking. 2 years later, Ferentz led the 2004 Hawkeyes to their second Big Ten title in 3 years, being named Big Ten Coach of the Year for the second time. Iowa finished 10-2 with a victory in the 2005 Capital One Bowl over defending national champion LSU. It was won on a last-second 56-yard Hail Mary touchdown from Drew Tate to Warren Holloway to stun LSU 30-25. Arguably the best catch in Iowa football history. Here's famous Hawkeye Sports Network analyst Gary Dolphin on the call.
Playoff. They got to call timeout. They wind the clock. 9 seconds to play, and Drew Tate doesn't know that. The game's going to end on this play. He fires downfield. It's caught, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Iowa! Touchdown, Iowa! No time on the clock. I don't believe what I just saw. Touchdown, Iowa! Oh my God! I can't believe what I just saw.
A couple of years later, Iowa finished the 2008 season with a 9-4 record with a convincing 31-10 win over South Carolina in the 2009 Outback Bowl in Tampa, Florida. Iowa finished 20th in both the AP and coaches' final polls. The season consisted of arguably the best running back of the Ferentz era. Running back Sean Green won the Doak Walker Award as the nation's top running back while rushing for a school record 1,729 yards on 278 carries with 17 touchdowns. The 2009 Hawkeyes won their first 9 games while ranking as high as 4th in the BCS rankings. The loss of star quarterback Ricky Stanzi in the 10th game of the season led to their first loss of the season. They later won the 2010 FedEx Orange Bowl against Georgia Tech. The physical defense was led by middle linebacker Pat Anger. He had a total of 145 combined tackles on the season. Star defensive end Adrian Claiborne had 11 total sacks on the season. And offensive lineman Brian Bulaga, who was named League's Offensive Lineman of the Year. The 2015 Iowa football team went 12-0 in the regular season, which is the best season in the University of Iowa football history. The Hawkeyes finished 12-2 after a nail-biting loss in the Big Ten Championship game and an appearance in the historic Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. This was the first appearance for Iowa in Pasadena in 25 years. It was led by junior star quarterback C.J. Beathard and outstanding defensive back Desmond King, who won the Jim Thorpe Award, which is awarded every year for the nation's top defensive back. Kirk Ferentz was named 2015's Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. The type of football players under Coach Kirk Ferentz. Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz built his program on finding unheralded players with versatility, strong leadership skills, and plenty of room to develop. Kirk Ferentz was quoted saying, "A big part of being offered is their attitude, their work ethic, and their wanting to be a team-first type player." Iowa does not have very fertile recruiting grounds. Because the big recruits don't find Iowa that attractive, Iowa has to score the nation for the overlooked recruits that they can use to develop into Big Ten players. The reason why Iowa is winning so much under Ferentz is his ability to develop talent. He takes 2 and 3 stars and turns them into NFL talent. Since 2010, Iowa has had 22 draft picks go to the NFL. Ohio State has had 23. In the past 12 seasons, Kirk Ferentz has had 49 players drafted in the NFL. A crazy statistic was found, and it is that a 2-star prospect has 1 in 34 chance of getting drafted. At Iowa, it is 1 in 6. A 3-star recruit at Iowa is 3 times more likely of being drafted than an average program. Another strong suit of the Ferentz era is his ability to keep his assistant coaches for a long period of time without change. There is a strong commitment to the program that Ferentz has built. Head strength and conditioning coach Chris Doyle has been Iowa's strength coach for each of Ferentz's 18 seasons. Phil Parker is the current defensive coordinator and has been with Ferentz all 18 years as head coach. Before Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator was Norm Parker. He crafted one of the Big Ten's most effective defenses during his 13 seasons on the Hawkeye staff, and he architected Iowa football's blue-collar attitude. He sadly passed away at the age of 72, only a year after resigning as defensive coordinator for the Hawkeyes. Reese Morgan, Kirk Ferentz's longtime assistant, recruits the Midwest area and finds hidden gems for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Every in-state recruit, every Nebraska farm boy who evolved into a productive player, every obscure South Dakota kid who became a star, every walk-on who played his way into a scholarship, almost all of them were escorted into the program by Morgan. It was Morgan who saw that an oversized quarterback from Denison, Iowa, named Brandon Sheriff, could be molded into an offensive tackle good enough to win the Outland Trophy and become the number 5 overall pick in the NFL draft. Ferentz and Morgan recognized that Chad Greenway, who played 9-man football in South Dakota, could be made into a linebacker good enough to spend a decade in the National Football League. They saw a 4-sport athlete from Decorah, Iowa, named Josie Jewell, who was resigned to playing at his hometown Division III school, was capable of playing at a much higher level, and is currently the leading tackler in the Big Ten, and the anchor of the Iowa defense is a junior. Brett Greenwood was a typical Kirk Ferentz-type player with his attitude and perseverance. He was a former walk-on who worked his way up to become a starter for the Hawkeyes. He led the Big Ten Conference in interceptions during his 2010 senior season with 5, and is tied for 6th all-time at Iowa with 12. Greenwood has been on the slow road to recovery since collapsing during a routine workout September 9, 2011, at Pleasant Valley High School. Greenwood was placed into a coma after suffering what was called an anoxic brain injury. He has persevered through countless rehab sessions with current strength and conditioning coach Chris Doyle. Ferentz's relationship with past players is something that makes Ferentz an amazing coach on and off the football field. Past Iowa football players appreciate Ferentz, and he treats his players with his utmost respect. There are currently 5 past Iowa football players that played under Ferentz on his current coaching staff. Ferentz turns young teenagers into grown and mature men by the time they are done playing football for the University of Iowa.